In case you missed Wednesday's Facebook Live on my business page, Stampin' Piece with Mary Nabe, I'll quickly show you what we made. I basically used a sheet of the designer series paper from the Hydrangea Hill collection and showed viewers how to make 6 greeting cards quickly in case you need to, you want to build up an inventory of cards, or if you have a lot of cards to give away or send, or if you're making some for gifts. So I gave you some tips on quick and easy card making. So check that out on my Stampin' Piece with Mary Nabe business page. And it will also be posted to my blog probably in the next few days. So you can see it there as well. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Susan. Nice to have you. If you would take a moment to share this video, I would appreciate it very much. And while you're doing that, I'll tell you about today's, the inspiration for today's Facebook Live. So I've had this, and some of you may recognize this paper with the succulents. I was drawing a blank with the succulents. That's a product suite we had out several years ago. And of course, now we have a new set, stamp set and dies with a succulent theme. I'm not using that today, but this project is something that I've been displaying on my shelf for a very long time, and thought, gosh, that's been years since we've made this. So it's time to do it again. And I'll show you what this is. You can pull this off. I'm just going to pull it off like a belly band instead of untying the bow. But when you open it up, it's a card holder. So it's a great way for you to gift some of your handmade cards. So today I'm going to show you how to make this folder. You're going to be blown away by this. It's one sheet of 12 by 12 designer series paper. There's no stamping. There's no adhesive used. There's no cutting. You're going to be amazed. So let me flip my camera around. I'll show you a sample of the one I made, and then I will show you how to make that folder. So if you love giving handmade cards away as gifts, you are going to love this. So hold on. Are you ready? So this is what I've made as my sample. And inside I've used, see if I can scoot this a little closer. So inside I put some of the cards that I made on Wednesday evening's Facebook Live when I showed you how to make those quick and easy cards, 6 cards from one sheet of DSP. And in here, now I have this perfect gift that contains 4 handmade cards in 4 envelopes with this beautiful gift packaging. So I can give this, to as a gift to somebody for Mother's Day, for a friend. It could be a gift for your neighbor. I'm trying to get this on without crinkling this. There we go. Really for anybody. If you need a quick gift for a coworker or a quick hostess gift, a birthday gift, absolutely anything. But isn't it cute? And I've added the sentiment to an incredible woman. And that does come from the Hydrangea Haven stamp set. So this is the stamp set with the dies. And for this project, I'm going to use the same designer series paper that I just showed you on my sample. I will point out to you that when you are making this, you really want to use designer series paper that is not directional. Otherwise, it may turn out a little funky. We'll say it like that. It's best to use a designer series paper that is non-directional on both sides. And you are going to be seeing both sides of the designer series paper. So make sure it's a sheet where you really like both sides and where both sides will also coordinate with the cards you're putting inside. Joyce is asking, is the Gorgeous Grape sheer ribbon still on back order? I believe it is, but I haven't checked in a couple of days. But if you want to wait after the Facebook Live, I can check and give you an answer then. Alrighty, so I've got my little cheat sheet here because this involves several steps. So you basically need 12 by 12 designer series paper, one sheet. You need your trimmer, paper trimmer, but we're only going to use the scoring tool. We're not going to use the cutting blade, just the scoring tool. And then you need a bone folder. So the first thing you want to do is, and this is going to be on the inside, you want to mark the center point. The easiest way to do that, I want to make sure we're all the way in the screen here. Okay, so the easiest way to find the center point of your designer series paper is to score, and I'm just going to score, the center is 6 inches, right? 6 inches from the top and bottom and 6 inches from left and right. So I can see where the 6 is here, and I'm going to go a little above and below that 6. I'm going to turn my designer series paper and again place it at 6 inches along the top, and I'm going to do the very same thing. You don't need to score. In fact, you don't want to score all the way across. Just little score marks in the center. And you may not be able to see this real well, but there's a little score mark here and then one right there. I'm going to keep that handy because I'll be doing lots more scoring. But the next step then is, I have to think about which way I'm going here. I'm getting mixed up looking at my sample. Yes, I had it correct. So the next thing is to turn it so you have your corners at top and bottom and left and right. And you're going to have the top and bottom corners meet right in the center. And this is so easy because we have those score lines. So you can just fit your corner right in between those score lines. And the corner of the paper right to that point formed by those score lines. Make sure you go over those score lines so you get nice creases. So this is what you have. The next thing you need to do is score right down the center of this. Now, we could measure here to here, but there's a quicker, easier way. We already know that these points are meeting at the center line. So what I'm going to do is put my fold along the top, close my arm there, and you can move this, but you want to be sure that those 2 points that you brought together when you folded are right inside that scoring cutting groove. So now I am going to score from top to bottom. Go over it a couple times because you've got 2 thicknesses here. Now I'm going to flip this over and I can see my score line right there. I want to put that score line, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and fold this just so, increase it just so it's a little bit easier for you to see as I'm doing it. Because I'm not sure you'd be able to see the score line all that well. So now I've got that center score line that I folded, and I want to place that right on the 1 inch mark. And I don't have it up here because it's hard for me to see the 1 inch mark. So I pull it down a little bit, and I've now got that 1 inch mark right there. And then I'm also going to line it up with the 1 inch mark down here. That's the nice thing about this grid on here, and the fact that we have our numbers at both the top and the bottom. So now again, I'm going to score top to bottom, go over it a couple times because you've got two thicknesses, turn it around and do the same thing. That original score line right down the center, we want to be on our, even with our 1 inch lines there. A little bit, there we go. And you can use the horizontal lines to judge to make sure it's sort of like an insurance plan that you have everything nice and straight before you score. Score all the way across again. Set this aside for just a moment while we fold. So we folded the center, and now the score lines we made 1 inch from the center on each side, we're going to fold those in the opposite direction. So now you can see the beginnings of our card holder. The only thing I have left to do now is to score these corners. So to do that, I'm going to take the outermost score line and place that on the 4 3/4 mark. 4 3/4 mark right here. Again, you want to make sure everything's straight, so check to make sure at the bottom you also have it at the 4 3/4 mark. Close your arm and then score that corner. Flip it around and do the same thing. The outermost score line, the one to the right, you want to place at 4 3/4. And score again. Then you will take those corners and fold them to what will be the outside of your card holder. Kind of push it all together. So on the inside, you basically have that like Z fold or accordion fold. This is what it looks like from the side. And then the fronts and the backs are the same. So press that all down, go over the score lines once again. So now, when you open it, and again, we did not use any adhesive, 0 adhesive on this, and no cutting. Now you're going to place your cards and envelopes inside. Now it doesn't hold a whole lot. It holds 4 cards and 4 envelopes comfortably. You might be able to do 6 if you don't have a lot of embellishing on it. And there it is. So now if you want to hold it closed, you can tie a ribbon around it, wrap a ribbon and tie a pretty bow, put a tag on it. But let me show you another option. Another option would be to create a belly band. A belly band is something that goes around and it slides right off. So let's do that now. So I'm thinking, how wide do I want it? 1.5 inch. Let's do 1.25 inch. So I'm going to cut a coordinating piece of designer series paper. So my strip will be 12 inches by 1.25. 12 by 1.25. Now, because you want the belly band, and I always recommend that if you're putting a belly band on, make sure you fill the contents of your container or your card folder, whatever, first, so that you get, so that when you make the belly band, it fits comfortably, but is able to slide on and off without being too tight. If I would put the belly band on while this card folder is empty, then when I fill it with the cards, it would probably be too tight. The band would probably be too tight to go around. So what I like to do is, you know, I like to hide seams. So on the back side, I've put the end of that paper strip pretty much at the top of my card folder. And I just wrapped it around and pulled the tabs shut. Now, I don't really want that seam there. I'm going to hide it and have a seam at the top, but it will likely be less conspicuous. Actually, it should be at the bottom. What am I doing? Doesn't go at the top. So wrap it around. You can see it's pretty much even with the bottom. Wrap this around, and I'm just going to flip the ends, switch places with the ends. Now keep in mind, you do not want any adhesive. Deciding what I'm going to use. I think I'll use this. You do not want any adhesive touching the card folder. You only want the adhesive on the band. So to do that, I'm going to put some adhesive on the end of the strip here, and then on the opposite side on the other end. So now my glue will be right here and right here, completely stuck to itself. That paper will stick to itself, not the card folder. So now you can see I can easily slide that on and off. All right, now this is the back side. So I'm going to come around here to the front. I've already had this cut out, so I think I'll just adhere this to my belly band using a couple of dimensionals. Joyce, this is not my original. This is a project that, where's the original here? This is a project that Jackie Mayer on my team showed us several years ago. And honestly, I don't know where she got the idea from, but it was something Jackie had seen and demonstrated. Whoops, I need to scoot these over. Had demonstrated at one of our team meetings long, long ago when I was still living in Mason and before pandemic and all the craziness. I do miss our team getting together each month like that. We really had fun. So there's a real simple belly band. If you want to dress it up even more, add a pretty bow. But you can see this would just make a lovely gift. If you would be having, lots of people are having small bridal showers and small parties and small gatherings. And these would make wonderful favors for something like that. If you're visiting somebody and want to take them a little gift, this would be nice for that as well. Mother's Day gifts, a little teacher gift. You're right, Joyce, it was cased. It was cased, and I do not know who came up with this project originally. I just know that I learned it along with my other teammates from Jackie Mayer. And I think I'll put that right there with a glue dot. So I hope this is very different. I know on Fun Fold Fridays, we usually do a Fun Fold card, but I thought this would be a perfect project to coordinate with our Wednesday evening Make 6 Quick Cards Fast project. So I do hope that you will give this a try. I know many of you love to make cards, and one of the things you do with those on a regular basis is gift them to other people. So what a lovely and different way to gift your handmade cards to others. So I do hope you will give this a try. Are there any questions about this or anything else that I can answer? I'm seeing, wow, really nice, interesting. Okay, if you hold on just a moment, I can, let me get into my demonstrator site and look up that gorgeous grape sheer ribbon. Because I'm at the very end of my bolt too. I want to get some more as well, so I'll get an answer for all of us. Good question, Joyce. Let's see here. Okay. I'm in there now. I'm just scrolling through looking for the answer. Okay, as of right now, the sheer ribbon, the gorgeous grape sheer ribbon, and the pastel pearls, oh, and even the matte black dots are unorderable, but it says they are, the estimated availability is March 15th. So what is that? Tuesday, 13th, 14th? No, it's Monday. So great question to ask, Joyce. But the answer to that is, as of today, right now, these two products are still unorderable. However, their expected availability is Monday, March 15th. And I knew somebody was going to ask about that strawberry punch. I believe we're still waiting on that. Let me see. Okay, that also, oh, yes, that also is marked for the 15th of March. So there are no guarantees. Those are estimated dates that they give us. I can tell you that the strawberry builder punch and the sweet strawberry stamp set will be in our new catalog. So if you can't get it now, as soon as it becomes available and they've been able to build up the inventory in the warehouse, it will be around for a whole nother year. So that's a good thing. All right, any other questions? Joyce, you're welcome. I figured if I wanted to know too, because I'm about out of this ribbon and I want some more. And I figured if you were asking, there are probably other people who were wondering the same thing. So thanks for joining me today. Have a wonderful weekend, whatever you will be doing.